Hello and welcome to a special encore edition of Social Studies. Um, this is taking a look back at a recent but classic assignment, expanding sentences. So this one is 3.1a. It is the amazing expanding little sentence part 2. You may recall the original amazing expanding little sentence, which was only a short time ago. Looks something like this when you did it, and some of you did not do it. So your first step, if you did not do this, 3.1, which was given depending on your whether you were cherry or gray, either Wednesday or Thursday of November 18th or 19th. So make sure you have done this one first, even though it's going to be a repeat here. In order to get credit for both of them, you have to have done both of them. So if you didn't do the first one, go back and do that one, and then come back and rejoin us here. Okay, welcome back. So as you know from the first one that we did, we're trying to take a look at how to write sentences. All you had to do was write two single sentences. One sentence about the Jamestown colony and one sentence about the Mayflower Compact. And we looked at in class quickly some examples. Now, I'm not giving you here the good examples, because then all you would have to do is copy that and you'd have it done. And the point is for you to learn how to write it. But we're going to look at some common mistakes that people made the first time around and why we're doing this a second time. So one mistake many people made was to write multiple sentences, not just one single sentence, but all we're looking for here is one sentence. Let's take a look at this first example. The Jamestown colony was started in 1607, comma, James the First started it in Virginia. Spelled wrong, of course, but I'm not sure where they got this James the First thing. That was not in our notes. You weren't really supposed to go research it on your own. You were supposed to use information that you had, but they, I'm not sure who they are either, made the Jamestown colony for the ruins as their home. Not sure what that means there. This is the wrong there as well. And then another sentence, they, again, not sure who they are, made the Jamestown colony for men who agreed to make a settlement. Spelled incorrectly as well. So this one has a lot of things going on that you could clean up between the spellings, between it being multiple sentences, between some of it just not making sense. Let's take a look at number 2. In 1607, pilgrims from England seeking to find religious freedom. Whoa, pilgrims founded Jamestown? Not quite. Go back and check your notes there. This was another mistake, though, that multiple people made, saying that the pilgrims seeking religious freedom founded the Jamestown colony. Not quite. This one, it started in 1607 in North America. We should not start with an it or a they unless we know exactly what it is we're talking about, and here we don't. Capitalize North America, and then another King James reference, founding Jamestown. I don't know where people find this King James thing, but we're not really looking to put in anything about King James here. And once again, we have multiple sentences, not just one, intended to become the core of a long-term settlement effort. That does not sound like 7th grade language. Looks like maybe something copied and pasted from a Google search, perhaps. Number 4, they started it in 1607 in North America. King James founded Jamestown. Again with the King James. We have a lot of King James fans in this time. Here's another example. King James, Virginia spelled wrong again. Oh, maybe this is the same one I had up there twice. Oh, sorry about that. My mistake. Mistakes do happen, as we can see, and we're learning from them. Okay, the colony Jamestown was established in 1607 in Virginia. The people who accomplished this amazing feat would change history forever, were British citizens, these English humans, etc., etc. Again, multiple sentences. This person, good effort here, trying to be creative, but we're not trying to be creative. You'll have time to be creative later. Today, we're working on just learning to write good, solid sentences. When you can write a good, solid sentence, then you can get creative. But first step first, we need to learn to write good, solid sentences. This was another one that I saw more than once. During the last ice age, nomadic hunter-gatherers, did they found the Jamestown colony? I don't think that's what I had and you guys put in your notes. But a few people did this, and I think what they did was just quickly scan the video until they saw an answer being written and then copied that down, perhaps. Although my example had capitalized the first letter of a sentence, had punctuation at the end, and capitalized the name of places. This last example, I'm not sure what it is, but it's not a sentence. This is supposed to be the single sentence here. It's nothing that we learned. We did not learn about Bacon's Rebellion. 1699, the colonial capital was moved to what is today Williamsburg. That's fun information. Sounds a little Wikipedia-ish. And it ceased to exist as a settlement, remains today only as an archaeological site. Again, all you were trying to explain in one sentence was who, when, why, where the Jamestown colony began. So we're going to take another look at this. This was the example I gave and that some people just copied down. This was just use an example of the land bridge crossing because it was something that I figured that everybody knew. And we wouldn't have to go do research. That's not the point of this, to do research. But we were trying to take this little simple sentence and turn it into a much more satisfying one single complete sentence by answering these questions: when, where, who, what, why. These answers did not need to be complete sentences. They could have been single words even. But we were then going to combine them, and this was the sentence that I came up with. During the last ice age, nomadic hunter-gatherers following animal herds crossed over a land bridge into North America and became the first Americans. That is one single sentence, and it's not perfect, but it's a nice, satisfying, informative single sentence that I'm sure any of your 7th grade social studies teachers would be happy to see. All right, so you're going to take another attempt at this. We're doing the same examples you were supposed to do last time. The first one is about the establishment of the Jamestown colony in 1607. And we're pretending that the sentence that somebody wrote was "they started it." And we're going to turn this sentence, we're going to expand it by saying when, where, who, what, why, etc., and turn it into one complete, satisfying sentence. And you're going to do this in the Google form. It's in your notes on the flip sheet. Now, since I said you didn't need your flip sheets or your notes anymore, I've copied it here and even zoomed in for you. Now, do you need all of this information? No. We're only talking about the establishment of starting the Jamestown colony. So when, where, who, what did they do? Why did they do it? All right, so you don't necessarily need all of this, but that's where your information is coming from. No need to go do a Google search or anything like that. The information is right there in your notes. And then you can answer these questions, and at the end, write your complete sentence. A few simple reminders. This is asking you to write one complete sentence. One complete sentence. That's all you have to write. 2, sentences start with with capital letters. That's something that I happen to know is taught in 1st grade, maybe even kindergarten. But you should know that you start sentences with a big letter. Names of people and places should also be capitalized. Other random words should not be capitalized. Just because a word is fancy, like joint stock company, doesn't mean that you have to capitalize it. Sentences end with punctuation, and in this case, it's going to be a period. And if spell a word wrong, fix it. Proofread. Read if you spell something wrong, if the computer has something underlined, fix it. Read over what you have written, make sure it makes sense. Then you're going to do the same thing with this sentence, they signed it, which is about the signing of the Mayflower Compact in 1620. And you're going to answer the when, where, who, what, why. This is also in your flip notes here. This one is in the part about Plymouth, which happens to look like this. Here's the notes about it. Now you'll have to read through, but all of the information you need is in here. You don't need all of the information in here. Not some of this will not be used, but the information that you do need is located in here. You just have to read this and then answer the questions and fill it in. Is that the end, or will there be a part 3? You'll have to stay tuned and see. All right. Thank you for joining me, and have a pleasant day.